सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ. The word Upanishad primarily has the meaning of Brahma Vidya. Upanishad means Brahma Vidya. And the Brahma Vidya is called by the name Upanishad. Brahma Vidya alone is called as Upanishad. Because of its function, the Brahma Vidya is the knowledge of Brahman. Alone is called Upanishad. The word Upanishad, it has got two functions. Why Upanishad is called Brahma Vidya? Because since it has got two functions, the Upanishad can be called as Brahma Vidya. What are those two functions? There are two words, Upani and Sad. Now first we will see the word Upani. What is that function that Upani does? Upani means that which brings closer. That which brings closure. Upanayati iti Upani. Upanayati iti Upani. This is the first function. What is that which brought closer to what? That which brings the closure is called Upani. What is that which brought closure to what? Next question. Brings closure means there must be two things. What is that which brought closure to what? Clear? So we have to know that. That which brings together is called Upani. So we have to know what is that which brought closer to what. This is the next question. Shastra says, Jivatma brought closer to Paramatma. Jivatma brought closer to Paramatma is called Upani. Bringer together Vidya. English la. Bringer together and that which Vidya brings together. Jivatma and Paramatma. That is the meaning of Upani. The second word Sad. Turn this and see the light. Sad means remover or destroyer. Sad means remover or destroyer of what? In samsara. Sad means the remover or destroyer of samsara is the second function of Upanishad word. First word is that which brings the Jivatma to Paramatma is a function. First function. The second function is that which removes the samsara, which destroys the samsara. That's Sad. So that's called Upanishad. There are two functions in this word Upanishad. Now the next question is, Upanishad means we said knowledge, Brahma Vidya. Vidya means knowledge. How can a knowledge can bring the Jivatma closer to Paramatma? You said it is a function, it is an action, like mixing the decoction and milk together. It is an action, it's a process. This knowledge is that which is not a function, as an activity to be done outside. It is an internal. Vritti Rupena, eva knowledge will take place. There is no action, function involved in this. How can you say this knowledge will bring the Jivatma closer to Paramatma? Who will do this function? How knowledge can have that capacity to bring both of them together? The question arises. For that our Upanishad says, if there is a separation or gap, Vyavadhanam, we call in Sanskrit, separation or gap, okay? Vyavadhanam. If there is a Vyavadhanam, a gap or separation, because of ignorance or because of a notion, that Vyavadhanam is there, that can be removed, that Vyavadhanam or gap separation can be removed by knowledge, because the separation is because of ignorance, because of ajnana. Therefore that separation can be removed, or that notion can be removed by knowledge. So the knowledge which brings the Jivatma closer to Paramatma in the form of knowledge. Only removing the ignorance taking place here, so the Jivatma will get aikyam with Paramatma. So avidya vyavadhana nivritte. Avidya means ignorance, Vyavadhana means gap or separation, Nivritti means removing the Vyavadhanam. Avidya Vyavadhana Nivrittehe. Because of the removal of distance between Jivatma and Paramatma, the knowledge can do that job as though it is a function. Really speaking, it is not a function, but as it were. That which is caused by the ignorance. So what will happen because of this knowledge? Jivatma and Paramatma will become one. The become you have to put in inverted commas. Jivatma will become Paramatma. There is no really becoming. Now, what we have arrived at? Brahma Vidya, little bit Sanskrit I say now. Brahma Vidya kim karoti? What Brahma Vidya does? Brahma Vidya kim karoti? Brahma Vidya upanayati. Answer. Upanayati. It takes the person. Kam upanayati. Where it will take? Whom it will take? Kam upanayati. Jivatmanam upanayati. It will take the Jivatma. Jivatmanam upanayati. It will take the Jivatma. Who? Brahma Vidya. Kam prati upanayati. Towards whom it will take? Kam prati upanayati. Paramatmanam prati upanayati. It will take towards Paramatma. This is the function number 1 explained, and the function number 2 by taking near to Paramatma, it removes what? Distance between Jivatma and Paramatma. Sad. So Upanishad. Next question is, Jivatma, Paramatma, we said the Aikyam through knowledge, we said. By gaining knowledge. The knowledge is called Prama. Knowledge is called Prama. Prama, that our knowledge always can be gained through an instrument called Pramanam. Prama means knowledge. Any knowledge can be gained only through the Pramanam. Instrument. Pramanam means instrument. That instrument which creates knowledge. Pramajanakam Pramanam. Your eyes are Pramanam. You can see the forms and colors. So seeing colors and forms, getting the knowledge. This is orange color. It's a knowledge. How I got? Pramanam. Eyes are Pramanam. What they are giving? Knowledge. Prama, knowledge. Janakam, that which produce. What produce? Pramanam. Pramanam produce the knowledge. So Pramajanakam Pramanam. Like that, the Upanishad also is the creator of knowledge. Prama means knowledge. Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Jnanam is produced by the Upanishad Pramanam. Upanishad is an instrument. It's a Pramana Grantha. Upanishad is a Pramana Grantha, that which produce Prama. Just as your eyes produce the knowledge of forms and colors, similarly, this Upanishad Grantha also produce that Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Jnanam. Why we have to explain this? Because people ask, you see, the knowledge is going to take place only in the intellect. Ishavasya Upanishad is outside. It is a book full of words, only 18 mantras. How this book, a small booklet, which is external, paper printing, how it can create that, take this Jivatma towards Paramatma? There are many people still today, they never believe, have faith, how an external book, either it may be Veda or Upanishad, anything you take, how it can help to take this Jivatma towards Paramatma, that which is internal. This book is external. For that only we give this answer. Even though these forms and colors are outside, you are using the Pramanam, where knowledge is taking place in the intellect only. Similarly, Aham Brahmasmi, that knowledge also, even though it is internal, book is external only. This Pramana Grantha helps person to get the knowledge. Prama. So Pramajanakam Pramanam Upanishad Grantaha Ishavasyopanishad. Any Upanishad for that matter, we are going to see Ishavasyopanishad. That's why any Upanishad is a Pramana Grantha. That's what we have to understand. Here, external objects ki Pramanam is your sense organs, 5 sense organs. Whereas in the case of this Mahavakyam, Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Jnanam Vishaye, Shabdatmaka Vachyam is the Pramanam. That is the difference. Shabdam. Shabdatmakam means the words alone will help the person to understand. Shabdatmaka Grandha Pramanam, which is in the form of words and sentences. So, we have arrived at the primary meaning of the Upanishad is knowledge. The primary meaning is knowledge only. Upani means knowledge. But Lakshanaya, that is important. Lakshanaya. Pramajanaka pramanamapi upani uchyate. Lakshanaya. I know book is external only. It is Shabdatmakam only. Only words outside. But Lakshanaya. Pramajanakam pramanamapi upani uchyate. So, Mukhyartha, primary meaning is Prama. Then Lakshyartha, secondary meaning is Pramana Grandhaha. So, Upanishad means what now? Primary meaning is Prama, knowledge. The secondary meaning of the Upanishad, generally Upanishad means what we do? So, Upanishad, you all went for the book's sake. No? So, you are all running for the book. Even though Prama, knowledge we are going to get. You know, this book is the Pramana Grandha, let me take. So, this is called Lakshyartha. Secondary meaning, not popular meaning. But secondary meaning, Lakshyartha is Pramana Grandha. So, we can take that meaning. Pramana Grandha, Lakshyartha Drishtyan. Now, this Ishavasyopanishad, Ishavasyam. Ishala second Sha is Shankara Sha. Vasyanlo Sakara is Saraswati Sa. Pronunciation is custom. Ishavasyopanishad. Ishavasyam Upanishad, Ishavasyopanishad belongs to Shukla Yajurveda. Shukla Yajurveda. We all of us know there are 108 Upanishads, principal Upanishads. Among 108 Upanishads, Shankaracharya wrote commentary to 10 Upanishads. Among the 10 Upanishads, there are some Upanishads have swaras, some Upanishads do not have swaras. That means they are fit for Vedic chanting. Some of them are like a prose you have to chant. So this Ishavasya Upanishad has got a swara. But we are not going to sing with that swara. No? You require a lot of practice. First I thought of teaching according to swara. Then after reading 18 mantras, then I felt it is tough for students. All students, some of them are coming very newly. So, we'll see how that tune we are going to take. So, 10 Upanishads, that Upanishad sloka, you know, Ishakena Katha Prashna Mundamandukya Tittirihi Aitareyam Cha Chandogyam Brihadaranyakam Tatha. So, first Upanishad is Ishavasya Upanishad. Generally, all Pandits, no, they generally teach Ishavasya Upanishad, Ishavasyam. That is only how to teach. But Puja Swamiji will take Ishavasya Shanti Patham itself is difficult. No? First a beginner newly come to the class, if a teacher start with Ishavasyam, next class he will not come back. So to avoid that, so Swamiji always begin with simple Upanishad, Mundaka, Katha, Kena, all the Prashna, all these are very simple Upanishads. So therefore, now we are studying the 7th Upanishad. Ishavasyam is the 7th Upanishad. It is known as Mantropanishad. Mantropanishad. It is full of mantras. The first portion of Upanishads, whatever come in the Upanishads, first portion is all are Mantropanishads. Later portion of Veda, whatever the Upanishad comes, they are all Brahmanopanishad. Brahmanopanishad. So, Brahmanopanishads are the commentaries upon the Mantropanishad. Brahmanopanishads are those Upanishads which are nothing but commentaries upon the Mantropanishad. This Ishavasyopanishad is a Mantropanishad. The commentary Upanishad is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. The whole Ishavasyopanishad commented in the form of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that is called Brahmanopanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is a Brahmanopanishad. Mundaka is a Mantropanishad. Prashnopanishad is a commentary upon Mundakopanishad. It's a Brahmanopanishad, Prashnopanishad. That also we are going to see after this Ishavasya. So Prashnopanishad is a Brahmanopanishad of Mundaka, the Mantropanishad, Mundakopanishad. This Upanishad, Ishavasyopanishad, the first mantra begins with Ishavasyam, the word. That's why this Upanishad is titled as Ishavasyopanishad, because the first mantra begins with the word Ishavasyam. Similarly, Kena Upanishad also. Keneshitam padati preshitam manaha. So that also, the Kena Upanishad heading also, title also, because of the first word of the first mantra. What about Mundaka Kathopanishad? Mundakopanishad's first mantra is not word Mundaka. Kathopanishad is not Katha. So you are not supposed to supply same Upanishad ellathukume. So Mundaka Vratam has to be performed by the student in the Mundakopanishad. Very important, highlighted. Therefore it was called as Mundakopanishad. Kathopanishad belongs to Kataka Shaka, therefore it is called Kathopanishad. So Ishavasyopanishad, because of the first word, the title has been given to this Mantropanishad. This Kathopanishad, other Vedas, 4 Vedas have got 4 Shanti Pathas. You know that. We will see those Shanti Pathas. What are all they? We have completed first Krishna Yajurveda. Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu. Kathopanishad belong to Krishna Yajurveda. Sahana Vavatu is the Shanti Patha there. In Samaveda, the Apyayantu Mamangani is the Shanti Patha. Chandogya Upanishad belong to Samaveda. Then Bhadram Karanebhi is the Adharvana Veda Upanishad. Which Veda we have completed recently? Adharvana Veda, Mandukya Upanishad we have completed. So Bhadram Karanebhi. This Shukla Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurvedam Sahanavavatu. Shukla Yajurvedam ki Purnamadaha Purnam is the Shanti Pata, the beginning prayer. Generally we chant end of the class. Now we have to chant in the beginning also until this Ishavasyopanishad completion, because it is the Shanti Patha here. This Shanti Patha, it has a very peculiar mantra. This is, even though we are chanting from so many years, it has got a peculiar meaning. Very depth its meaning also. And we can say it is got a profound meaning also, very profound meaning. To understand that meaning itself, the student has to finish 6 Upanishads. I will. Puja Swamiji always says that mantra, Purnamadaha Purnamidam, Purna means whole, WHOLE, whole. Purnamadaha Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate, that mantra, that is whole, this is whole. From that whole, this whole has come. And you remove that whole from this whole, the whole remains. Student really come to conclusion, yes, whole remains in my head. No doubt in that. So therefore, that is the literal meaning. No? This is infinite, that is infinite. From this infinite, that infinite has born. You remove this infinite from that infinite, that which remains is infinite. What you can understand? Tell me. How difficult it is. Because you require a subtle mind to grasp the whole depth of this Shanti Patha. Shanti Pathame ippudi irukka. Upanishad eppadi irukka podu. Even Upanishad mantras are also highly profound mantras. You cannot find any dictionary meaning here. Shankaracharya gives what is the exact meaning, no? Very difficult to know. That's why this Upanishad and all, we are not supposed to read by our own. What meaning he gives, no? Very entirely different, opposite. That is what he conveys. So, you must have the knowledge of Niruktam, Chandas, Vyakaranam, everything you have to check up. Then you have to derive the meaning. Not just dictionary meaning, even Vyakarana dictionary also. I am not talking other dictionaries. Even Vyakaranam dictionary, according to that also, if you take, you don't get it. So therefore, we have to study very, very carefully. Because Bhashyam is there, Shankaracharya Bhashyam. It's very, very easy for us to get the exact meaning. Now we enter, with this background, we'll enter into the Shanti Patha first. This Shanti Patha exactly Shankaracharya will not write in this Ishavashyam Bhashyam, he won't write. He wrote the Bhashyam in the Brihadaranyaka, that which has got 6 chapters. The 6 chapters, the 5th chapter has got this mantra. Purnamadaha Purnamidam mantra occurs there in the Brihadaranyaka, 5th chapter, 1st mantra. For that he writes elaborate commentary. Purnamadaha. So that meaning we have to take here. We will see that meaning first. We will chant the mantra first, then we will go to the meaning. But you have to chant the tune what I am chanting. Don't chant regular tune. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Shanti. Because the ragam has changed, the Shanti we will chant again. It has to come in a different swara. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we look into the mantra, word by word meaning. The essence of this mantra is Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha is the essence of this mantra. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is real. The whole Jagat is unreal. Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. The Jiva alone is Brahman. Jiva is none other than Brahman, is the essence. The first line of this mantra talk about the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma. The first line from the Nirguna standpoint, Nirupadhika standpoint. The second line talks from the Saguna Drishtya, from Saguna standpoint or Sopadhika standpoint. Now, the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma, the relationship can be twofold all the time. Relationship can be twofold. The first one is, one angle of relationship is Karya-Karana Sambandha. Karya-Karana Sambandha. That means Vatsyartha Drishtya Sambandha. Vatsyartha Drishtya. Or Saguna Drishtya Sambandha. Or Sopadhika Drishtya Sambandha. Or cause-effect relation Drishtya Sambandha. All are synonyms. This is the first relation. From second angle, if you see, the relationship can be Lakshyartha Drishtya or Nirguna Drishtya or Nirupadhika Drishtya. Also, there can be a relation. This is twofold of relations. Now, in this mantra, the first line is showing the two different angles of relation. So, Vachyartha, Sopadhika Drishtya Sambandha also shown here, and Nirupadhika Drishtya also. First line shows the Nirupadhika Drishtya Sambandha, second line shows the Karya-Karana Sambandha or Sopadhika Sambandha. Sopadhikam and Upadhi Sahitam. Now, the first word in the Upanishad mantra is the Shanti Patha. I am not explaining why Shanti Patha, because you are already advanced students. I don't want to insult you. No? Explaining again why Shanti Patha. You know that all. Solanama. Nirvigna Parisamaptyartham. Nirvignam illamale the Grantha Samapti Ahanam. There are many other reasons also. For that sake we chant. So, first word we take Adaha. Purnam Adaha. Means, Adaha means that. Sakarantaha Napumsakalingaha Adastu Sabdaha. Because Purnam is Napumsakalingam here. So, therefore, Adaha Amu Amuni. Prathama Vibhaktila, Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam Adaha. That. Ditya Divachanam Amu. Bahuvachanam Amuni. So Adaha means that. That means what? That means Tat. That Paramatma. Adaha. That Paramatma. Tat Shabdarthaha Ishvaraha. Tat Shabdarthaha Ishvaraha refers to Paroksham Brahma. That always indirect. Paroksham Ishvara or Paroksha Shabda. Tat is always Paroksha Shabda. That and Parokshan Nane. Not this, not here. Paroksha. So Paroksha Shabda. Ishvara Tattvam Purnam Anartham. Purnam Adaha means what? Adaha means tat. Tat means Ishvara. That is a word, Shabdam. So that Tattvam, Ishvaraha is a Pumlinga. So what? Purnam is a Napumskalinga. Ishvaraha Purnam and Cholakodad. It's a grammatical mistake. So what we have to supply? Ishvara Tattvam. Tattvam is Napumskalinga. So Ishvara Tattvam Purnam. Anat. The nature of Ishvara is whole, W-H-O-L-E, whole, infinite, anartha. Purnam means complete, infinite, limitless. W-H-O-L-E, write. Don't write, light kuda sariya illa Swamini actually. You should write W-H-O-L-E, you have to write, whole. Then, Purnamidam, next word in the first line. Purnamadaha is clear now? Purnamidam. Idam means this. This indicates the Jiva Tattvam. Jiva Tattvam, which is Aparoksham. The Jiva is direct. Aparoksham, not Paroksham, not indirect. It is Aparoksham. Means this means this Jiva Tattvam. We have to supply Tattvam. Purnam. This Jiva nature is also the whole or complete or infinite. Purnam. Next question will arise, Namak vara the question. Shankaracharya creates the question. How there can be two Purnams? Infinite can be only one. Infinite means limitless, that which is all pervading everywhere. That alone is there. Everything is that only. How that Purnam, this Purnam, Rundu Purnam? No, don't think Purnam Purnam, Kodakatte Purnam, like Napang Varda, Adella Varakodade, Inga Purnana, Purna Brahman. Okay, that Purnam, this Purnam, two Purnams, how there can be two Purnams in a question. For that, answer is the only one way how to solve this problem. We have to say Ishvara Tattvam, Jiva Tattvam, Abhinnam. Ishvara Tattvam Purnam, Ishvara Tattvam Purnam, Jiva Tattvam Purnam, Abhinnam, non-different. Bhinna means different. Na bhinnam, abhinnam, non-different or identical, you can say. Abhinnam means identical, one and the same. One and the same. So, there is no problem now. Only one Purnam. Okay. Brahma Tattvam, Ishvara Tattvam and Jiva Tattvam are one and the same. Next question. Next word is question, that is how Ishvara and Jiva are one and the same. How Ishvara Tattvam and Jiva Tattvam can become one and the same or non-different or identical. How is it possible? Shastra says it is possible because Ishvara Chaitanya Tattvam, Jiva Chaitanya Tattvam are one and the same. The step. Ishvara Chaitanya Tattvam and the Chaitanyam you have to mark. And Jiva Chaitanya Tattvam are one and the same. When I say identical, one and the same, what is my intention in the mind? Chaitanyam alone is one and the same. That means Nirupadhika Chaitanyam, Nirguna Chaitanyam, Lakshyartha Drishtya, one and the same. Nirupadhika Drishtya or Nirguna Drishtya or Lakshyartha Drishtya, they are one and the same. Not Sopadhika Drishtya, not Saguna Drishtya, not Vachyartha Drishtya. This is the high crux of Vedanta. You can enjoy. I am enjoying. Okay, you will also enjoy. You are my students, So, Ishvara Chaitanya Tattvam, Jiva Chaitanya Tattvam, Purnam. One and the same. Then how to understand this? Adaha means Tatpada Lakshyarthaha. Tatpada Lakshyarthaha. Not primary meaning, we are taking secondary meaning. Lakshyarthaha. Idam means Tvampada Lakshyarthaha. Tatpada Lakshyarthaha Purnaha. Tvampada Lakshyarthaha Purnaha. Now you know, any new student comes, they can understand this. That's why this should not be the first Upanishad. Now you understand why we teach after 7 Upanishads. Now how you are able to follow happily. I am able to teach happily. Otherwise, how difficult, no? Tatpada Lakshyarthaha Purnaha, Tvampada Lakshyarthaha Purnaha. Therefore, both are Lakshyartham only, Purnam only, no difference. So, Adaha means Tatpadam, Idam means Tvampadam. Tat Tvam Asi, Tat Tvam Lakshyartha is what? Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam is one and the same. There are no two Chaitanyams. So, Purna means infinite. Both are identical. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. Over. Now, next, first part of the first line over. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam over. Now, the next part, Purnat Purnamudachyate. The second part of the first line. First part ki ivla kashtam irukku. Kashtam illa. General for normal people ki kashtam da. Illaya? Now, the second part, Purnat Purnam Udachyate. Enna? Purna Ishvarat. இதெல்லாம் இந்த மீனிங் எல்லாம் நீங்க புஸ்தகம்ல கிடைக்காது. இதெல்லாம் சம்பிரதாயமா வர கிளாஸ் டீச்சிங் அన్నమాట. Purnat means Purna Ishvarat అని అర్థం. Ishvarat. Purna Mudachyate means Purna Jivaha Udbhavate అని అర్థం. Purna Jivaha Udbhavati. Purna Ishvarat Purna Jivaha Udbhavati. That is the exact meaning of Purnat Purnam Udachyate. Now the question is, how Purna can have a birth? Purnat Purnam Ishvarat Jivaha Udachyate. Born. From Paramatma, the Ishvara, the Jiva is born. The question is, how can this Purnam Ishvara can have a birth, give birth to Jiva? Question. This madri question is varle Swamini eppume anna. That's why Shastra helps us to think. Now, priyartha ipo, how Shastra helps us to think. இத்தனை வருஷமா சாண்ட் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கோம். எப்பாவது இந்த மீனிங் நம்ம மனசுல வந்ததா? சாஸ்திர மாதா helps us to make our intellect to think. How this Purna Ishvara can have a birth, delivery. How Ishvara can do delivery of this Jiva? Then for that answer we say, Sopadhika Ishvarat. Sopa, alla Sanskritama varadillaya. Because you are all advanced students, that's why I am taking it as granted. I will explain. Sopadhika Ishvarat, Sopadhika Jivaha Udbhavati. Upadhi Sahitam. Sopadhika manana. That Ishvara with Maya. Brahman plus Maya is Ishvara. So once the Brahman got married with Maya, became Sopadhikam. Our pair ennache? Ishvara. So from that Ishvara, from Sopadhika Ishvara only, this Sopadhika Jiva has come. Who is Sopadhika Jiva? This body mind complex is Upadhi. In the Upadhila irukkiradhu yaru? Jiva. In the Jivatma. Therefore Sopadhika Jiva came from not from Nirguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahman அம்மா அம்மாக்கு பிரம்மனுக்கு வைஃப் உண்டோடின வைஃபே இல்லைன்னா குழந்தை எப்படி வரும்? வராது இல்லையோ? இல்லை வைஃப் ஹஸ்பண்ட் ரிலேஷன் அங்கே கிடையாது நிர்குணத்தில். இங்கே பிரம்மன் வந்து ஈஸ்வரன் கல்யாணம் பண்ணிட்டாரு. கல்யாணம் ஆன உடனே என்ன ஆச்சுன்னா எல்லாம் ஹோல் சிருஷ்டி ஹஸ் கம், ஆல் ஜீவாஸ் ஹேவ் கம் ஹியர். ஸோ தேர்ஃபோர் சோபாதிக ஈஸ்வரா கிவ்ஸ் நிருபாதிக. No, Sopadika Ishvara give birth to Sopadikam only. Sopadika Jiva only, not Nirguna Jiva. Karana Gunaha Karye Anuvartante. So, Sopadika Ishvara alone gives birth to Sopadika Jiva. Enna problem? Tagarare kadiyadu namakku. Purinja tagarar illa, puriyala ellame tagarar da. That is the statement. Now next we have to understand through example. The part space, once you keep the whole space is one, once you create the part, what name you give to this space? Part space. That space which is in the part is Sopadika space. Is it not? Upadhi is what there? Part is the Upadhi. Answer coming from. I am so happy. So, Sopadhikam is here, part is the Upadhi. That is why, and the Upadhi, because of that part, what I say? Part space. Space, what name I am giving? That space which is available in the part? Part space. This part space name is because of the part Upadhi. That is called Sopadhika Akasha. So this Sopadhikam, this part space name is because of what? Part alone, not belong to space. Clear? So here also Upadhi Drishtya Jayate. Now this part space is born. Tell me. Part வரத்துக்கு முன்னாடி வரைக்கும் part space இருக்கா? கிடையாது. Space இருக்கு. Once part is born, part space as though born, as though born. This born part space is because of part. Sopadhika drishtya jayate, utpadyate, born as it were. Adhe madre, once this part has come, this body part has come, Sopadhika drishtya jivaha utpadyate. Because of Sopadhika Ishvara. Sopadhika Ishvarat Sopadhika Jivaha Udbhavati. Purnat Purnam Udachyate. எந்த கனவுல என்ன வரப்போறது, உங்களுக்கு என்ன பூர்ணம் வரப்போறது தெரியல இன்னைக்கு நைட்டு. ஓகே, now the next line. First line lo 2 parts over. Purnamada Purnamidam over. Purnat Purnam Endachate over. Okay. Now the second line of first part we have to say. So now you can understand the first line. Second part. Purnat Purnam Udachate is Sopadhikam. Purnamadaha Purnamidam is Nirgunam. Then the second line fully Nirgunam, Nirupadhikam. Purnasya Purnamadaya. Then second line la first part. Purnasya Purnamadhaya. Before going to that statement, I will give one more statement. Just an example you have to write. Mahakashavat Gatakashaha Utpattivat. Mahakashat Ghatakashaha Utpattivat. Purna Ishvarat Sopadhika Jivaha Sopadhika Ishvarat Sopadhika Jivaha Utpattihi Bhavati. Mahakashat Ghatakasha Utpattivat. Just as the total space, from total space the part space is born, similarly from Ishvara, Sopadhika Ishvara, Saguna Ishvara, Saguna Jiva will born. He is born. So upadhi, this is mithya or satyam? Mithya only. அதுதான் நீங்க இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் பாயிண்ட் என்ன நோட் பண்ணிக்கணும். உபாதி இஸ் மித்யா. பாட் இஸ் மித்யா ஆர் நாட்? மித்யா only. பாட் இஸ் அன்ரியல். எப்படி என்ன பாட்டு இல்லவே இல்லையே, கிளே தானே இருக்காங்க இல்லையா? இப்போ நோ கம் டு தார்ஷ்டாந்த. ஆஃப்டர் சீயிங் தட் உபாதி இஸ் மித்யா, सोपाधिकम उपाधि मिथ्या. द सेकंड पार्ट पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय. पूर्णस्य मीन्स सोपाधिक जीवस्य अर्थम. ऑफ दैट जीवा हु इज एंडोड विथ उपाधि अर्थम. हु इज दैट जीवा? दिस बॉडी. I, the RC. This जीवा is उपाधि सहितम. पूर्णस्य पूर्णम आदाय. पूर्णम आदाय मीन्स पूर्ण चैतन्यम और उपहित चैतन्यम. उपहित चैतन्यम that which is available in the upadhi. Who is available in this body? Upahita chaitanyam. Why chaitanyam is called upahitam? Because it is in the upadhi. That's why it is called upahita chaitanyam. The Purna Chaitanyam Adaya, that which is connected with Upadhi is called Upahita Chaitanyam. That which is connected with Upadhi is called Upahita Chaitanyam. Just as you call the pot space. Here Upahita Chaitanyam. Space alone, but you call pot space. Chaitanyam alone, but when you call it here Upahita Chaitanyam. That Upahita Chaitanyam Adaya means take out, separate. Atma is upahitam, anatma is upadhi. Atma is upahitam, this body mind is upadhi. Purnasya purnamadaya, you separate the from jiva, this atma, what remains is पूर्णमेवा अवशिष्यते. पूर्णम एव अवशिष्यते. No, पूर्णम no, Brahman alone remains. Here only very subtle point is there. We have to understand. Now, x plus y minus x is equal to y. X plus y. X plus y minus x is equal to what? Y. Don't ask me why. Okay. Why? Y enna A B C D E F G H last y. Okay. X plus y minus x is equal to y. This is what our understanding. Like that you come now here. Upahitam plus upadhi. Upahita chaitanyam plus upadhi minus upahita chaitanyam. Just write down, then think over later. Subtle technical terms. Minus upahita chaitanyam is equal to upadhi must be left out. Appadane upahita chaitanyam plus upadhi minus upahita chaitanyam. Upadhi only must left out. But Shastra says nothing left out. Purnameva avashishyate. Zero will remain. Zero will remain. They say here, the Upanishad says upahitam plus upadhi minus upahitam is equal to 0. Not upadhi. 0. Atma plus anatma minus atma is equal to what? Anatma. That means upadhi is, we are going to see later in the next class. In the end, one more point, very important point, I will put in suspense. Okay. It's very, very important how the Vedanta is so great, and you can understand in this next point. You think over. Okay, next class we will see that. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.